Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, episode number 36, with your host, Chris. I am he who is the one and only. And before I start the episode, I just got a little announcement to say. Right now, I have a friend, slash former coworker slash schoolmate, who has been having some medical problems as of late. And I kind of wanted to help him out a little bit, so his brother actually started an online fundraiser for him to help him, his wife, and his two kids. And if you guys would like to donate, I will post the link on this episode. And his name's Tim. He's a great guy, and I just kind of want to do something nice for him and his family. So by helping raise some money, we can help him out. And so everyone go do that. I don't want to pressure you, but if you do, great. If you don't, well, then you don't. But anyway, let's get to today's episode. I have a great man, a manly man. I'm not man enough to introduce him. I don't think I can, but I'm going to try. His name's McKinley Freeman. Even his name is very manly. He's on the VH1 show Hit the Floor, which it's a show about basketball, which is cool because I like basketball. As an American, I like basketball. So not a huge fan of baseball, though, but that's okay. Hit the Floor comes back May 26th for the second season, but I had a pleasure chatting with him, and we talked all about, how he got into acting, and we even talked a little bit about what we did on New Year's. Fun fact, mine isn't as interesting. So let's get this episode started. So, Chris, cue the music, please. Hello.
Hey, is this Chris?
Yeah, this is. How are you?
I'm doing well. What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing much. Just kind of chilling, relaxing.
Sounds good.
How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Probably a couple of minutes late. I apologize about that, but things are good, man. Just keeping busy, bro. You know how it is.
Oh yeah. No problem. Well, especially you. I assume you have a crazy schedule with all the extracurricular activities you do.
Yeah, it's. I'm assuming it's only going to get busier, but it's a blessing, man. I'll take it. Being between this stuff and being on set early and or late, it all jumbles together, man. But it's part of the process. I love it.
Right on. So this is Casting for Two podcast where we, I like talking with people, so that's why I have my own show. And basically, I just like to find out about people's background. I'm very interested in the entertainment field, so I just want to, find out a bit more about you, what got you into acting, and all this.
Sounds good.
So when were you first introduced into to the acting bug?
I was in third grade, and I was. The Wizard. I was a Wizard of Oz, and I was the Scarecrow. That was like the first time. Mm-hmm. Tremendous reviews. I think I won an award. No, I'm totally joking. But
you won a Tony.
Yeah, I won. I won like an ice cream, and it was great.
There we go.
Yeah. But after that, I kind of got brought back around to it through an opportunity with All My Children when I was living in Atlanta, and that's kind of the thing that opened the door to kind of where I ended up now, a few years later. But it was the opportunity with All My Children that was the thing that kind of introduced me to acting. They were basically looking for, the next guy that they were going to put on the show. And I was living in Atlanta at the time, and I was doing a little bit of modeling, and the guy I was working with was like, "Oh, you should go do this thing." So I went, and yeah, the rest kind of the pieces kind of fell in place, and it was fun, man. So having done all those things with all my children and signed a contract with One Life to Live and all these other things, and I was like, well, shoot, if I can do all this with no acting classes, I wonder how far I can go if I actually committed myself to doing it. And that was kind of the challenge or the opportunity and the challenge that I put on the table before myself. I was like, yeah, why not? So.
And so were your parents actors or anybody in your family?
No, absolutely not.
No.
I mean, I think we all are actors at some level in our lives, but no, not professionally. My mom has an MBA in Georgetown University, and my dad had various jobs, and now I think is working on law school stuff. So like, no, I had no immediate family or relatives in the entertainment business.
And when you told your parents, I want to be an actor, what did they say, or did they back you up, or were they like, well, it's a phase?
Nah, they were like, cool. So they were down with it, man. I think the great thing about my folks is that they never really I think they believe I can do anything if I actually commit myself to it. So they're like, all right, cool, you should go for it. Why not? You only live once. And I think the thing at the time I was working for IBM, and what I realized is that the job that I had, or a version of it, will always be around. But the opportunity to pursue something like acting while it presented itself wouldn't be. Who's to say when that opportunity would come again? So I was like, yeah, let's just go for it. The worst thing that could happen, the thing that for me was like, I'd hate to look back years from now and be like, oh man, I should have tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can live with failure, but I can't live with not trying.
Okay. And what were you recruited to do with IBM?
Well, I was in my second year of business school. I was getting my MBA in marketing and management information systems, and basically they hired me to do business development and marketing for their software group. So I was working with their software business partners around the globe to create marketing plans to help drive software revenue for their company and for ours. So that required me to do a lot of traveling here and there and creating programs and marketing materials and all kinds of stuff, man. So it was fun, but that's what they brought me down there to do.
Okay. I think that sounds a bit more sexier than acting, though. I'm going to be honest.
You're right, man. I appreciate you being so honest with me this morning. It's amazing. But yeah, no, it's one of those things, man, where you just never know. You never know where life is going to take you. You just kind of got to go with it. You know what I mean? And I think that's when the most amazing things can happen. And me being on Hit the Floor right now is a testament to that.
Mm-hmm. And how's Hit the Floor going for you? This is the second season?
Yeah, we're shooting the second season now, man. It's been amazing. I think we have the most amazing fans on the planet. I think it's going to be a lot of fun this second season when it premieres May 26th on VH1. So definitely check it out. But it's been a blast, man. We have a great cast. Our crew is amazing, and our producers and everybody, even all the way up to the network level, are super supportive and excited about the show. So it's a really unique situation that I'm really fortunate about.
And how did you get to be on that show?
Basically just the casting process, man. I went in for an audition during pilot season in like January. Went in, did my thing, thought I did well, and it was January, and so I ended up keep going out on pilot season till something sticks, and I ended up booking a return role on Devious Maids, the Mark Cherry show. And so I worked on that and everything. I was like, all right, cool. I have a job, the Mark Cherry show. Somebody's going to pick it up. I'll at least be working. It's cool. Step in the right direction. I get a call from my agent saying, oh, hey, you know what? You got a call back for that show you went in for back in January. Here it is, like darn near middle of March. I'm like, oh, pilot season's over with. I was already trying to figure out what the hell I was about to do with the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. So I went back in and I went in for a callback. It was actually for a different role. It was for the role of Terrence, and went in there and did my thing, had fun, was walking in my car, and one of his producers comes running across the parking lot. I'm like, oh, hey, wait, don't leave just yet. They want you to come back in for this other role. And I was like, oh, okay. So at this time, man, it's like, I don't know, 4:45 on a Friday in Santa Monica. And where are you based out of?
I'm based out of San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, cool. So it's funny. I was in San Antonio for New Year's. We'll have to get back to that.
Oh yeah.
So it's like 4:45 on a Friday in Santa Monica, and I live in West Hollywood. So the thing about it is, Friday traffic is terrible, but coming from Santa Monica, it could take you like 5 months to get back to West Hollywood from Santa Monica. So anyway, I'm like, all right, let me just look at this stuff and get it over with. So I don't want to be sitting in traffic forever. So I look at these sides real quick, and I go in there, and I'm like, do my thing, have a lot of fun. They laugh, and I'm like, all right, cool. So they're like, oh, we want to test you for this thing on Monday. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I don't look at it all weekend. I'm just like, well, if they like me off of what I did, looking at it for a couple minutes, I don't want to mess it up or anything. So, anyway, that's go back in, do it, end up booking the job, and then kind of here we are now, starting in the midst of shooting the second season. Man, it's been a fun ride, but it started from just a normal casting process, man, getting the breakdown, getting the scenes, working on it at home, preparing, and going in there and taking care of business and just seeing wherever the chips may fall. So
right on, and always keeping an open mind.
No, absolutely, man. Like, why wouldn't you want to keep an open mind? I mean, what the opposite is, being stuck in a way of thinking that would put you in a position where you might miss out on a lot of stuff. And I think the most important thing is just to be flexible, man, because we have the best ideas and plans for tomorrow, but let's say tomorrow I plan on, I don't know, going to the beach. If I win Powerball tonight, my plans for tomorrow could change drastically. So
right.
You got to be flexible and buy Powerball tickets.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I now I'm interested in hearing your New Year's in San Antonio. I bet it was a lot cooler than my New Year's.
I don't know, man. Well, okay, I'll share my New Year's story, and you can let me know. I have a really good friend of mine that lives in Austin, and I've never been there. So I was like, I need to get out of LA because I'm gonna be working for the next 7 months or so anyway. So I went down there, and it just so happened that I've got a cousin that plays for the Brooklyn Nets, and I looked at the schedule while I was in Austin. I was like, oh man, they play in San Antonio tomorrow. You want to go to the game? We were like, all right, cool. So we went to Salt Lick, that barbecue place, on the way to Austin, ate there, showed up to the game, watched my cousin play. I think they ended up losing to the Spurs, but they ended up staying in town for like an extra day because it was New Year's. So I was hanging out with him. I can't remember the name of the hotel, but it was downtown. There was a big old party. It was cool, man. It was, again, rolling with the punches, man. Who knew I was going to end up in San Antonio on New Year's, but I was there. It was cool.
Yeah. Right on. I spent my New Year's working, and then I drank some alcohol and then regretted it the next day.
So you had the New Year's like 99.9% of everybody else.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up, man.
Yeah,
it happens.
Right,
it's in the past. Yeah, exactly. And then you get to watch all the games just kind of chilling on your couch. It's perfect, man. You got to do it.
There you go. I'm a Blazer fan, not a fan of the Spurs. So.
Oh, okay. Are you from Portland?
I'm not from Portland, but I lived in Oregon a majority of my life. So. Oh,
okay, cool. Yeah, Oregon's cool, man. I shot a commercial up there for like 3 weeks one time, and it was just the longest commercial shoot ever. But it was also cool because I'd never been to Portland. I was like, I actually kind of dug it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's funny because like Austin is the Portland of Texas, so they're very similar cities.
Yeah, no, I can totally see what you mean by that. They're both very. The thing I liked about it was people were like, there's intelligent conversation. There's really kind of cool, kind of like, oh, I didn't even think about that, but that's kind of cool kind of things in both cities. I kind of agree with that notion. Mm-hmm. But no, the Blazers are great, man. They're a good young team, and I think they're definitely headed in the right direction.
Yeah. It takes me leaving for them to start getting good, so I'm okay with that, I guess.
That's funny.
But so I saw that you were also in it was a pretty intense movie, End of Watch.
Oh yeah, no, that was a lot of fun, man. David Ayer, who directed the film, also the guy that wrote Training Day, the movie that Denzel won an Oscar for. But the film was the End of Watch was great, man. Working with David was fantastic, and then working with Jake Gyllenhaal, Michael Pena was a lot of fun. Like, those two guys were really funny. But as you could see in the movie, their chemistry on camera was fantastic. But the opportunity to work on that film was a really big blessing. So I'm very grateful for that. And who knows, hopefully I get to work with David and those guys again. But it was a blast.
Did you have to do any of the training that for the role or anything like that?
No, I think, well, as you saw the way it was shot, a lot of it was kind of in the car with those two guys. So I didn't have to do a lot of field training, but most of my stuff was like in the bullpen and in the precinct with like, the scenes where we had with like Anna Kendrick and some of the other folks that were in there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So you didn't get to go run around and shoot random guns? And,
No,
like
no.
before production?
No, didn't get to do that.
Oh, okay. I've never shot a gun, but from just, seeing interviews and watching them, I think I'd have the hardest time just keeping my eyes open. I hear that's the number one thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been to the gun range a few times, and it's definitely, you get used to it, but I mean, that's the great thing about Hollywood, is that when it comes to things like that, is the training and the safety and all that stuff. Like, you really get, like, people are on point. Like, there are literally people whose job it is responsible to make sure you know exactly what the heck you're doing with a firearm, even of course when it's firing blanks. Because the last thing you want is a crazy accident, like something that happened to Brandon Lee or something like that. But so yeah, I didn't get to do any of that training. But again, perfect job would be able to get paid to train and do kind of all kind of cool martial arts and guns and all those other kind of things. So who knows? Hopefully that job's coming one day.
Yeah. Well, and then martial arts, you do a lot of kickboxing and boxing and Muay Thai and all that. How did you get into that?
I've been around it since I was a kid. My dad studied martial arts since he was like 12. So I grew up around, my dad taught Shaolin Kung Fu, so I grew up around it. And of course, like, my attention focused elsewhere, like, basketball and girls at other points, it's something that I've always been around. And then when I got out to Los Angeles, it was something that I found myself wanting to explore a little bit on my own. So I've taken all kinds of stuff since I've been here, from, Muay Thai and traditional boxing to, close quarter street combat and Jeet Kune Do and Wing Chun. I mean, I'm like, I'll try anything, but no, those types of things keep your mind fresh. And the really cool thing is that you have to stay present. You can't be looking at the clock. You can't be worried about this or that. You're literally in the moment. And I think that those kinds of things help make me a better actor as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, no, that makes a lot of sense. Reaction time and all that. It's funny how certain people choose certain types of things to keep them trained. Like, I'm just gonna say you're a fairly trim guy, good looking dude. You pick a sport where you get beat up in the face all the.
Yeah, that's kind of ironic. It's funny because I accidentally got hit in the lip like right before we started shooting the second season, and there was like a bit of a get together. I think the whole cast and everything were going to like a Clipper game or something like that. And I was like, oh, you know what, man, I'm not feeling too well, because I didn't want to freak anybody out because I just had to busted lips. I was like, let me just work on that. But no, it's the kind of thing, like, stuff like that happens. But at the end of the day, man, you gotta live. You know what I mean? You can't live in a bubble and worry about this and that. Like, you got to be smart about stuff, but at the same time, you can't be afraid to live your life. So.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'll tell you what you do. I'll give you my living, and you can live for me. How's that sound?
Well, give me a couple of days to think about that, but we might be onto something.
All right, I've been in like, I'm not trained anything. I did karate, and I'm not. I don't even know what kind of karate it was, but I did karate, and I've only been in one fight in my life, and I got punch slapped, where he hit me with the palm of his hands, and that was it. I was done. No more.
Yeah, my thing is, like, it's one thing to train all these things. It's one thing to go out looking for fights. Like, I feel like fighting is like the lowest form of communication. Like, there has to be something else, unless somebody's trying to rob you or whatever. Like, then all bets are off. But like, when it comes to other stuff, it's like, at the end of the day, we've got way too much. Some people, when you take a step back, we all have way too much to lose. And you're like, what are we really fighting about?
Right.
I mean, if it's something worth fighting about, then let's fight about it. But if it's not, then like, keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Right. No, and mine was just a stupid, middle school fight where I had no idea I was in a fight. It just happened.
Oh yeah, that doesn't even count, man. You got blindsided.
Yeah, exactly. And,
yeah. Let's just say that. You've never even been in a fight, man.
All right, you know what? Now I sound like a really big wimp. Okay.
You're not. Yeah, that's all right.
All right.
No,
All right,
it's just it's nobody. This conversation is just between you and I. Nobody will ever know.
yeah, that's true. Nobody will ever know, and goes out online.
Exactly.
But so I've had a great time chatting with you. For the people at home who would like to stalk you online, where can they do that?
Twitter and Instagram, I'm at McKinley Freeman. So the @ McKinleyFreeman, and that's both on Twitter and Instagram. So that's how they do it, man.
There they go. So everyone go follow him and watch the show. And
yeah, absolutely. Hit the floor. We season 2 premieres on May 26th, so definitely tune in.
There we go. McKinley, I had a great time chatting with you. Stay safe and keep an open mind for everything, and I hope you win the lottery.
All right, bro. Thanks a lot, man. It's been a pleasure.
All right, you have a good one, okay?
All right, later.
Right, bye-bye. Hey guys, just a quick reminder, you can always catch up with these episodes on castingfor2.com. You can also follow me at Twitter @castingfor2 or send me an email at castingfor2@gmail.com.